Okay, hello everyone. We're back in the shop.
Hello.
Remember Spike, obviously, from every video we ever do.
Yeah.
Today we're starting an award it's called the Inspire Roanoke Award. The last time you saw us do an award for this organization was the cool, basically scale model of the Roanoke Star that we built.
It'll be right here.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah.
And it's animated.
It's going to be turned around, and you're going to see the shimmer of the star actually change as it rotates around.
Hey Walker, it's really easy for you to like animate versions of these trophies in our videos, right?
Which trophies?
All of them.
All of them.
Every single one of them?
Yeah, you know, like if Spike's holding a model of what it's about to look like, and then we want to like rotate it around before I build it. That's super easy, right?
Yeah, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Great.
It's great you think so. Then you're on.
Okay, so I'm guessing now in the video, you're kind of holding your hand out, and I am rotating a model of the trophy in your hand.
You got it.
Pretty close, yeah.
So, we have a base to build out of 2 layers of 1/8" steel with a wraparound. And here's a stainless cross that also has road lines in it. It's basically a double yellow, like the lines of a road and a cross combined, because it's called Straight Street.
Yes, and their logo looks a lot like that.
It is that, basically, but it'll be like on an angle, sort of like this. Walker, you can animate that, right? Anyway. And then we will polish these stainless elements onto which the information about the award will be laser engraved onto this guy, which will wrap around the front of the base. And then, what's that?
This is a tag it's like it was given on this day by and it'll go on the bottom.
On the bottom, I see. Okay, cool. So I got to do some de-drossing, some polishing. I do have to find a way to clean this guy up because 1/4" stainless does not cut very well on the plasma cutter. You can see the taper, you can see the not sharp corners. So I got to find something, hopefully something other than a hand file to get in there and clean all that up. But
listen, if Walker can animate that, you can do that.
I guess I got to do my job now. Yeah, so we're starting this award, and it will be presented at the Inspire Roanoke Awards ceremony, which is called this.
Oh, the Roanoke Leadership Series.
Roanoke Valley Leadership Series. You know, all the details about that series are right here. And we're honored to be chosen every year to build these awards. It's very cool. They go to very, very hardworking, deserving people in the community. And this really helps us, you know, get stoked on making something memorable for somebody. So we're going to crack into it. We'll take you along for the ride. And when we get to the end, we'll have gotten to the end.
You okay?
I had cake and ice cream and too many energy drinks this morning, so my brain's moving fast and slow at the same time.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. So basic de-draw stuff, a little bit of TIG welding, and some polishing. We did get some new abrasive supplies from none other than Robbie Skelton over at Virginia Abrasives. We've got some new wire cups. We've got some new Scotch-Brite drum cylinders for our Eastwood surface conditioning tool. We've got some new Scotch-Brite pads. Sanding discs, really thin curve cutoff wheels. It's nice when there's a new load of abrasives coming through the shop. Like we got some more 3-inch Rolock sandy deals. What else did we get? Flat discs. Anyway, I'm going to use some of that on that.
The box opening? What are we doing?
I don't know. Just thought I'd give Robbie a shout out, the local company, Virginia Abrasives.
Thanks, Robbie.
He's one of the nicest guys who works for an abrasive. He's super not abrasive.
It's true.
Thanks, Robbie. Anyway, enough talking. You guys hate that. I know. You spare no expense to let me know how much you hate the talking part. But I think it's important, you know, to set up the beginning of every project in detail and let you guys know step by step what we're about to get into.
And it helps when you can see those steps illustrated by having the parts all come together from an exploded axon. And they come together like this, and then you rotate them.
Whoa.
And you see the light change off of them.
Is he ray tracing?
Oh, sure.
Wow.
I don't know what that is, but he's going to trace him.
Walker, did we mention Walker's a god?
Walker's
an animating god.
He is.
It's time to prove it.
And you guys should comment in the channel, about how much of a god you think he is. Blasphemous or not.
Let's just scumbag him until he has to do something really hard.
Yeah.
Okay, time to polish things.
Hi, Spike here with Lift Arc Studios. Good to see you again. You're doing a really good job and I'm proud of you. I want you to know that even though it feels hard right now, it's not always going to be hard. Sometimes it's hard. That's okay. Anyways, what's not hard is doing this. So that was really just for us.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm not talking to you guys. Fuck you guys. Kidding, not kidding.
What are we doing?
So for the Inspire Roanoke Award, which looks like this, we are going to engrave the front plate. This is 18 gauge stainless steel. We're going to engrave with the name of the award, year, and the recipient. And then on the bottom of the award, we'll go this little tag, which will say this. So the way that I do it, my process is, you can also see right here, is I will burn the outline of these two things in the wood, and then that'll help me locate them. I'm going to screw them down, one, so they don't move, but two, so that way, in case there's any warpage to the stainless because of the laser, it'll help hold it down and keep that warpage from happening while it's lasering. Because if it comes up, it's fine, we're going to wrap it and all that. So that's where it's going to be, so that's where it's going to be. And what I might do is move this, because I can't see any of that, can you? Okay, so it's done, but I can't see anything. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on, I think, a piece of wood. That's not a bad idea. I have this right here. This is all my excess scrap. And I think I'll put it right on there. So what I'll do now is I'm going to put this on there, engrave it on. I'm going to screw this down and engrave it.
Okay.
Straight up, and I just want to get one tack on it.
Okay.
And my main thing is, I might move it a little bit. I want you to hold it.
I thought you were
Hoping you'd still hold it. You keep holding it, but I might reposition.
okay.
All right, let go.
Whoa, that was so quiet.
It was a fusion tack.
That's cool.
It was not.
Oh.
I added metal.
Wow.
That's why I couldn't do it with two hands. It's pretty good. I can bend it a little here and there. There's so many like things that aren't straight that you kind of just have to guess. How does it look from your?
The only thing that
Don't judge this.
I'm not. I want the light to be kind of right over the center of the.
Well, I can cut this back.
Great. So that's my only. This line looks great. I want that light, like right. Looks great though. What do you think, Walker?
Yeah.
That's pretty straight.
Not really.
Yeah. That's looking more straight.
That's pretty good. So, piece of tube, a nut that I rounded off, and then a piece of brake line from a Jeep.
Fuck yeah.
What a strange thing. Aesthetically, you think it's what we were after?
Yes.
This is more of a radius, but
I think that's fine.
yeah.
I want that light over the center of the
Yeah.
cross. Other than that, looks.
I think this is the one I'm going to go with, but I accidentally pulled the wire out of this, the thing that holds it in place. But
Is this going to be the actual head?
yeah, there's another one that's plastic, and we could paint this. It does look kind of cheap.
Yeah, I definitely don't like the color like the big color difference.
Yeah, paint it silver or something.
And I could also gut it and like we could machine like
A little housing for it.
a little housing for it. But it's a lot easier said than done. Oops. Well, good thing I have 12 of these.
Potential, and it is more work than words. What's the potential of having a piece of metal just hollowed out in the middle, like machined out, and casing that, either wrapping that in like really thin metal?
Well,
or
we
putting it in a
also
block?
got to think about scale. So if this were a street light, the housing would be very small. So I don't want this giant fucking thing up here.
Right.
Which, if we made a housing for that, it would be giant. It would be comically large, which proportion is important.
And for sake
I
of
have a different one that I'm going to try out.
for sake of, again, more work than words.
I don't like that you keep saying that.
Well, I recognize that shit is easier to say than to do.
Uh-huh.
Is to take really thin piece of sheet metal and just weld a box, just make a little box around it. Because then you can
It
tap
has
it.
a really high potential to look like dookie.
Sure.
All right, well, let me weld this up and clean what's here. And then I have some other pieces of lights that I ordered from Amazon that I'll play around with.
Cool.
That looks great.
Yeah, dude. Great work.
Thanks. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Hey Tay, how you doing?
What?
Hey Tay, how you doing?
Hey, so I realized I have not gone over the electrical side of this project, but here's where we're at. So today I've gotten it to this point. We've got the cross welded at an angle. I really could spend hours and hours and hours on this bottom part, but I dressed it to the point where I'm happy with it. It's handmade, but even still, I filled that fillet, ground it smooth, ground out the first welds with the die grinder to kind of fillet them, sort of half pipe it. And then I went over with a cosmetic weld just to kind of have that little stacked dime look. So I could chase that all day. Stainless is very, very hard. And I don't want to try to get rid of these tiny little micro scratches and then affect this bottom here. So I'm just gonna leave it there. The street light is almost done. The metal part's done. So we've got, this was a fuel line for a TJ Wrangler Jeep. This was a 3/8 stainless nut that I rounded off. And then this was a piece of stainless pipe. And there's a hole drilled in this top thing right in the middle. So this street light is going to work. And now I will show you guys the plan for the electronics. So what this was a book light. I ordered a bunch of random stuff on Amazon, hoping that I could Frankenstein some stuff together, and this is gonna work great. So this is a flexible like book light that used to have this like, you know, alligator clamp situation to clamp to the back of your book and I guess hold your pages back. But so I salvaged just this piece, just the arm, which I don't really need but doesn't hurt. And then the 2 wires, I exposed those that come out of the base. It originally was wired to this control board with this little, you know, rechargeable battery on it. But I'm gonna marry that via this extension cable that I've just made from a different piece that I butchered to this. So this cool thing is the Talent Cell 6 amp hour, 11 volt battery. This is a rechargeable battery pack. Charge it here, there's a switch here, and then there's a 5 volt USB output here. So you can charge your phone with it, you know, anything that runs off USB. It's basically just a USB battery pack, but I like it because it has a switch. It's not always hot. So the idea is this will be back in here like that, right? So you can charge it here or just leave it plugged in and then switch it on here. And then this actually will probably be like that. So that can curl back around. And then this will go down in there, and I may shorten this, I may not, but this end has a positive and negative terminal on it. So basically, I'll give you a real-time preview. Spike and I just spent a lot of time in a gentleman's front yard dealing with these strange green-colored connections. So this is an exploded view, but this is the general concept. You turn it on, and now this light has a switch on the top, and there's tape over it, so don't mind that. But now we'll have 3 brightness levels. I'm gonna leave that tape on there until we clear coat the whole thing. But that will be sitting over top of here, and because the branding is straight street, now you can start seeing it all to come together. The cross has dotted line in it like a street, and this, of course, is meant to resemble a street light. So the final effect, I think, is going to be very cool. And you can see that just with some silver paint, which Spike did, like so, and once you kind of bend it the right way, and we'll epoxy it in there, then you have this really cool street light looking thing that then will get wrapped with this. 2 rivets around the back, just like we did before. And we have a tag that goes on the bottom and felt pad feet on the bottom, and then we'll clear coat the whole thing, and then job done.
Yeah, this is gonna look sick.
I'm quite pleased.
It already does look sick.
Yeah.
But well done on the lights. Finding a light fixture that fit that perfectly.
Yeah, I just, when in doubt, Amazon. I knew there had to be something that, I got very lucky because it turns out most book lights have this general shape, which kind of looks like a modern street light.
Now, Tay, I'm gonna say something that you've probably already thought of, but I know you've been staring at this for a while. Make sure to apply this tag before you put in the battery, just in case you poke through it.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter where this goes, does it?
Just on the bottom.
Yeah.
And don't cover it with a felt pad.
Yeah, that is troubling actually, because maybe this will just go off to one side like that.
I mean, it doesn't have to be in a...
Or I'll put this, let me flip this, run the USB around, and then this would be, it could be on one side, right? It could be like there.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
mean,
matter.
people are...
You know what, I could put it on the front, just underneath, because the battery pack's not gonna go all the way back.
Okay.
I'll just put it right there. All right, I've got an hour and 45 minutes. I'm gonna try to finish this.
Or else we lose the shot.
That's right.
Miss Ramsey's gonna come and take it away from us.
Yeah.
She's so sweet though, she'd be like, all right, it's mine, but you guys can still work here.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. Will she pay the bills? That'd be great. Should be enough cable. Yeah, it comes out great. So that's done. Go ahead and rivet that tag on the bottom. Do the foam feet. Rivet that on.
Make sure to measure the back.
It's too long, but I'll just cut it off. All right, gloves back. I'm not sure where I'm gonna be. I gotta fixture it in something so I don't damage it while I drill holes in the bottom of it. I'll probably put rags or cloths in the vise and clamp right here so I can get to the bottom. Yes.
I think it looks sick.
It does.
I don't know why, but I really, really like the base.
The weird angles are great.
The base does look particularly smooth.
Yeah, but you did a knockout job of the base.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that roll job.
Yeah, thanks, man. I was just in the zone.
Auto zone.
I welded this and then just took it, you'll see in this, I took it to the belt grinder and just, you know, held it and just ran this against it until it was smooth, and then went to the Vevor belt grinder, which has a less aggressive belt, and just softened all these corners. And then orbital sanded this part. But I didn't try too hard because I knew it was going to be covered. And this, you know, I just used a grit of sandpaper that was not aggressive enough to go through the mill scale, like 150 or so. So it cleaned and made a really clean dark gray, but it didn't eat through the mill scale.
It's one of those things where it just legitimately looks like it's one piece, and always was, and always will be.
Yeah.
I think I did better on this than I did the other one, honestly.
From what I remember, this looks more polished than the other one.
Yeah.
But the other one had a lot more on it. And
Yeah.
you're tacking all those pieces.
Yeah, so there's less to look at here, so I'm trying to make it look, I don't know, the things you are looking at are a little higher polish. Well, this is cool. I barely grabbed it and my street light broke off. I guess I compromised the tubing somehow. Have brass in it? This might not be the best choice. So I can either weld this back and hope it doesn't happen again, or now I have to switch gears and find some stainless or something to bend up. Damn it, it was the perfect size. And it's 4 o'clock on a Friday. Everything terrible always happens at 4 o'clock on a Friday. God, I was determined to finish this. I'm still going to. I had plans at 5, but now I won't be there. Here we go. Yay. I made this. It works. It's thicker stainless. It's not a weird alloy, so should work.
You just love wiring and electronics.
What a pain. At 3:30, I snapped this off. Cool.
Very cool.
I'll actually push it in a little, hide that USB. Should be that. I kind of want to go all the way in. Push that all the way in like that. There you go. Well, there you have it.
That's a sweet thing.
Oh, the things we make.
I know these Inspire Roanoke folks keep getting some of the coolest little tabletop trophies.
Yeah, man. Well, they're nice folks, but these aren't donated. They are. Thank you all for hiring us to build these amazing things. We feel lucky that people like these kinds of things, that we get to create more and more of them. That paint is leveling out just a little bit, thankfully.
It looks pretty even to me.
It's pretty eggshelly and wobbly, but it's getting better. Batteries, man.
That's pretty bright.
Yeah. I like that it has brightness settings. So you
So
have
do I.
off, low.